What is up, guys? We are back with Stumped for Answers. This is episode 10. I think the title for this episode might be Pakistan's New Era, the Good, the Bad, the Ugly. We've seen it all, and I'm here with my co-host, Babar Azam's biggest fan, Vase. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Super glad to be here. I think on the 25th fast right now, at least for me right now.
Yes,
Got
sir.
about 45 minutes to break the fast, but excited to be here. He's got the chai, so let's get it going, man.
Yeah, and a quote from Nasser Hussain in the Champions Trophy 2017: Pakistan 1 minute down, next minute up. Um,
Bye.
so like we've seen the two extremes of this new team now, and we went back and forth in a lot of group chats, thousands of messages over the weekend
It was
and
insane.
the past
Honestly, it
couple of
was it was
days.
insane. Yeah,
It was insane. So, game three happens. Pakistan comes out, decides to bowl first on a small wicket, small boundaries, nice batting wicket, and New Zealand put up 205. Little did we know that Hassan Nawaz, who we were bashing a little bit on our last
honestly,
podcast.
it was me. Yeah, it was me.
I mean, I did too. I said
Yeah,
that he had no shots, and like the technique was lacking. Hassan Nawaz comes out and plays the fastest, scores the fastest 100 by a Pakistani in, I think, 42 balls it was.
44.
44 balls. Okay, 44 balls. And so we got to watch Pakistan chase down 205, set multiple records. The power play score was the highest it's ever been. I think they had 77 in 6 overs, and they ended up chasing the 205 with 16 overs. With 4 overs left, so within 16 overs. So Vase, what was your reaction? Because I think that's the most hyped I've been watching a Pakistan game in a long time. What about you?
I mean, for me, it was the same thing. The problem with me watching was 2 hours before the match took place. I mean, I was on record saying that, Hassan Nawaz, street cricketer looked like me, etc., But I mean, with me, dude, if you're doing great for the country, doing great for the team, I have, utmost respect for you. And he did what he's supposed to do. I mean, well, he exceeded expectations. First of all, because 100 off
He exceeded
44, he exceeded.
expectations.
Let
Yeah.
me just say, yeah, that was insane. Great knock, and I don't want to take anything away from him or the team at all. Chased 205 in 16 overs. That was actually the fastest chase in T20 history. Of
Yeah, for
from
something
200 plus.
above 200,
Yeah,
yeah,
and
which
yeah,
was insane to see. I mean, we're always on the side of Pakistanis
I was
batting
opposite. Yeah,
slow. Yeah. And then not just Hassan Nawaz, I mean, Mohammad Haris got them off to a flying
striking, man.
start.
He was going
Yeah.
crazy.
We
And
saw him
again, yeah.
play. No, go ahead, go ahead.
No, he was playing some great shots. Honestly, that reminded me of the 2022 World Cup. It was a semifinal playing South Africa, right? It was
Yeah, yeah, the South Africa game
and he came
where
in
he hit a
just
couple shots that was
yeah,
crazy.
and it
Some
was like
scoops and
yeah, and I think even in that game, I mean, he scored I think 28 runs or so, but just the start, he gave Pakistan for that. Kind of reminded me of that where he came in, the intent was there, and he's playing some fantastic shots, footwork's there. He's looking great. So I thought, I tipped my hat off to him. He had a great knock as well.
yeah, and then we saw Salman Ali Aga come in and give support after Haris got out. So nice batting by him too. He scored 50 off 30, and we could see that there was a good gesture between Aga and Hassan Nawaz where he wanted him to get the century when the game was coming to a close. He was taking the single so Hassan Nawaz could get to that mark. So that was nice to see that the boys are gelling. Some positives in the bowling as well on a wicket that was not doing much for the bowlers. I think Hadis Rauf has been fantastic so far in these
Exceptional.
conditions.
Yeah,
Probably the most economic. He's bowling in the right areas and getting wickets at the right time. He's been able to get Tim Seifert, Finn Allen, all the big names out so far. So nice to see that. Um, and then so that game happens and everybody is so hyped, right, Vase? Like we're in the group chat. I'm like, Pakistan, this is the new age. And like we don't need Babar, we don't need Rizwan. these guys are here. Like they're here to stay. And then the next game happens, which is probably the most anticipated game in the entire series.
For sure.
And Pakistan bowl first and give up 220 runs, I believe, um, on a wicket that seemed like it was good for
Bowling.
batting
Well, yes, I mean, but I mean, we spoke
when
about
New
it.
Zealand was batting.
Yeah, yeah. So what happened was even when so I tried to do my research, just in the pitch, whatever, and the highest score there ever, was 8 years ago. I think the highest score was 243. And we look at the
Yeah,
average score. The
243.
average score was, 176, right?
It was 176.
176.
Yes.
So I'm thinking
Hmm.
if we can restrict them to 200 under, maybe we have a shot, especially the way that we did bat the previous game.
Hmm.
But Zayd, consistency wins you trophies. It consistency, keeps a spot in the team for you. So it was like with Hassan Nawaz, I didn't mean any ill will or trying to put him down. He's a young player, he's a good player, has talent. But it's like when I saw him the first two games in, he's slogging it, right? So it's
Yeah,
like you
yeah.
have to pick and choose your shots, and I kind of knew that was coming too. After that, third game, he scores 100 off 44. He scored 105 off 44. But it was just more so I'm watching him play, and I was like, I don't know if he can keep this up, where even I don't even know if he was
Yeah,
40 or
he
23. He's just slogging, like blindly, if you can
Yeah, he
ask him inside
definitely
the red.
has to develop some more shots
Yeah,
and
dude.
get like more game sense into it, not just try to swing wildly at every ball, especially in the power play, right? Like you can hit over the top in multiple areas. And I think the batting is always getting the strain of the blame, right, for Pakistan. It's always has. But man, the bowling has just seemed so
Trophies.
lackluster. Shaheen, I was seeing stats over the last I think his last 10 T20 games he's given up almost 400 runs or something like that at a econ of almost 10 and over, and he's taken like 4 wickets in 10 games. So I think that's a huge concern. Even in this game we saw him. I feel like he gets hit for one boundary and then everything else goes out the window and they just go like berserk. Like he's just bowling anywhere and everywhere. Like he has no control. So, like, what
Yes.
do we need to do? I don't think he should play tonight. Do you?
I mean, I said this after the third game. Sorry, I
Oh, you
said
said
this
it
after
after the
the
second game.
second
Yeah.
game that you should rest him, but Zayd, I think you should play him. Dude, game four, 4 overs, 49 runs, 0 wickets. His partner in crime, I'll just say PIC, just because they share some sort of relation within the PCB fraternity. His PIC Shadab Khan 4 overs, 49 runs as well, took no wickets. So I feel like they
Yes.
should play Shaheen and Shadab honestly in game five, maybe to get the groove back or just to see if these guys can still perform or not at the international level. Because Shaheen has looked atrocious. And I saw a tweet from Shahid Afridi, I'm pretty sure you saw this too on X, where he tweets Shadab and Shaheen should be given some rest and let the youngsters come in for game five. Hey
Yeah, I
buddy,
saw that
let
too.
me tell you, buddy, your son-in-law's fighting for a spot right now. So
He
I don't think you
is.
should suggest him to rest. If you let him play game five, let's see how he does. Because he's been playing absolutely atrocious. So he gets hit for a shot and he just sees red.
Yeah, so Vase, the concern was that like when New Zealand was batting, you saw the ball was coming onto the bat
Mhm.
perfectly. They're able to hit their shots. New Zealand comes in, their bowlers are hitting like the
Lines.
length perfectly. It's like
Perfectly,
you put
bro.
a
Yeah.
quarter down and they're hitting that every single time and the ball's moving
That's
away,
the
the
record
ball's
here.
moving in. It was unbelievable bowling by the New Zealand bowling department, but why isn't our Pakistani bowlers besides Haris Rauf able to do that. Like keep the line and length right on these conditions where it's pretty favorable for bowling. Most of the grounds have been favorable, and we haven't seen Pakistani bowlers being lethal like they usually are in the first 6 overs. Like I don't know if you remember we used to like in the power play get like 2, 3 quick wickets all the time with Shaheen, Naseem. Like these guys were reapers in the early overs. So we're just not seeing that. Guys like Folks, Jacob Duffy, these guys are swinging the ball yards.
Exactly. No,
That guy Folks, I
I
told
don't.
my dad I was watching the game with him. I was like, watch, he's gonna bring the ball in first ball. And what happens first ball to Shadab? He brings the ball in like a foot and Shadab gets bowled. So like why aren't is it a mental thing with Pakistani guys or are we just lacking the skill right now at this point?
Honestly, I think it's the skill. But I do want to give a shout out to Hottest Rove because I feel like, throughout this series he's been bowling exceptionally well compared to our other fast bowlers, i.e. Shaheen. But I think Shaheen, man, it's just like a skill thing at this time. I really haven't seen him taking wickets in the power play now for a few years. I know, he might have one or here or there, like Champions Trophy. But again, that's ODI. First time was he had a wicket then, but it's like I don't know what's going on with them. But as you said, line lane's not there. Gets hit once, sees red, and I don't know what's wrong. Honestly, it's sad to see, from 2021 to what he is now, and I don't know. Maybe it's because of that knee injury he had. I think he tore what did he? I think he tore like his ACL. He had
Yeah, I don't know if it was like an ACL tear, but it was like a knee injury
knee
that kept
injury.
him out for a
Yeah,
while. But so the thing with Shaheen is like I think now he's been playing international cricket for 7, 8 years now, right?
yeah.
um, Almost 6, 7 years. He's becoming a little predictable. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like now, people know what his
It's
wicket taking style is, and we all know too. It's the in swinging full Yorker type ball to the right hander. And when that's not working, or when batsmen become actually ready for that, I feel like he doesn't have another wicket taking option. Like his bouncer isn't that good. He doesn't hit that like hard length well where players are playing and missing and stuff like that. He doesn't have that ball where the ball is moving away either to the right hander, so it becomes predictable, I think. So that's something that he can work on. Like guys like Muhammad Amir, like he was a guy who was able to move the ball both ways and kind of get it going in different directions, which helped him take wickets at that stage. He's not being able to land anything. And I think other than that, in the bowling department, guys like Abrar, I think, have been very. He's been getting wickets, but I think disappointing where he hasn't been able to bowl in the power play. He's been getting attacked by Seifert and Finn Allen, going for multiple runs, multiple sixes and overs. So um, I think we're missing a left arm spinner right now, crucially. Kushdil is not the guy.
No.
Guys like Mehran Mumtaz and Arfat Minhas, these guys, I think you need a left arm spinning all rounder who can bowl in the power play like Imad Wasim was
Used to, yep.
doing when we were doing. So do you think that these guys are going to be brought into the team after the PSL? Hopefully, I think Arfat Minhas was on Karachi, I think. So I think he's still on that squad. So maybe after a strong showing, is there chances for these guys to make a breakthrough in the team? Because there is a need for a left arm spinner.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. I think there is a dire need for a spinner on the team. We do have Abrar, and I know, he's not been doing great to an extent, but last two games, third one and the fourth one, I think he took two wickets on in both those games. And he did take them at a very crucial and juncture of the game too. In the third game, he was about to get a hat trick, but I mean, he took two in a row. Then
Yeah,
he didn't
they
get
didn't let him
a
bowl.
chance.
But I think I agree with you. Abrar's been bowling well, but he just hasn't been bowling well in the power play.
Power
I
play,
don't
yeah,
think we
exactly.
can
Yeah,
use him in the power play. In the middle overs, I think
he's
he's
been
been
doing good.
good.
Yeah.
In the power play, I feel like he's just not skilled enough to bowl with two guys outside of the circle.
Hmm.
He either drops too short or drops too full. I think when he has the protection with the fielders outside, that he's better. He slows it up. He gives some more air, some more variety. So let's see. I think you made a good point. Shadab, he's the in the team for as like a second spinner, and right
Yeah, it's
now,
his job.
and
Yeah.
through the 4 games, he has not impressed. To be very honest with you, I was the guy that was kind of pushing for Shadab to be in the team. I know it's been 4 games, but he really needs to show something with the ball and the bat in this game. I think with the ball, he's been very mediocre. He'll bowl like one good over and then go for 3 or 4 sixes in the next. He's just not able to land the ball in the right spots. It's either too full or too short. He's not hitting the good areas. And then with the bat, he's batting at number 5. He batted one good game where he had 26 off 14, I think. That was his best performance so far. And then the fielding hasn't been great either, to be honest. Last game there was a ball where he literally let go through his legs. So What do you think? Any changes for this next game? I mean, it's game five. I honestly would like to see guys like Omer bin Yusuf getting a shout.
He plays off the
Um,
back foot, baby. I'm telling you, I've seen some highlights of the kid.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, they have guys like Usman Khan. I mean, if you bring him, might as well give him a game, right?
Honestly, yeah.
So and the other guy that I haven't been too big on, which I we were both pushing for this guy, and you gotta admit sometimes when things aren't like you say things and they aren't going the way you thought they would, is Irfan Khan Niazi. I think he's been batting at number four, and we've seen him get troubled a lot with the ball moving away.
Yeah.
It seems like he's not fit to play the ball when it's moving. So I think Pakistan in general, like with this lineup, I think when we have a fully healthy lineup, it'll be different. But here, if Khan Yazi's batting at four, that's not his number. It should
Mhm.
be somewhere around six or seven. So in a perfect world, I think we would have like Fakhr Saim, Haris, Aga, and then the guys like Kushdil and um Abdul Samad, who played last game. I thought he had
Yeah,
showed
yeah,
a
he,
little bit
he
of
played good.
flashes.
Yeah. I have
So
questions there. One question actually
yeah.
for you, my friend. So, do you consider actually hypothetically speaking, right, for the Asia Cup and let's just say for the World Cup,
Mhm.
would there be a chance to play Hassan Nawaz at six? Because he
So
just slogs it, right? So if you need a quick, maybe a quick boost, maybe a quick 20 off six, 20 off seven,
yeah,
25,
so I honestly think that's a good idea. I haven't even thought of that, but
right? Yeah,
like honestly, they could definitely keep him on the bench and keep that as like an option
option.
because he is a slogger. And honestly, you might be right. It seems like he does struggle with the ball moving early on. So maybe if he comes when the ball's older or when the spinners are bowling, he does have ability to hit sixes. So
Yeah,
I think that's a pretty good option. So maybe that's in the back of their minds.
yeah. I was thinking the same
Um,
thing. Yeah, because when the ball's moving, I mean, he just seems so uncomfortable to an extent out there in the power play. So at least for that first over, first two. So I feel like if it came in at six, man, you just need a few quick sixes.
Yeah. So I'll bring up a name here. I know we follow Pakistan cricket, and the guy's name is Sahibzada Farhan. I think we need to bring his name up. He scored 162 runs recently in the Pakistan T20 Cup, the one that's going on, the domestic cup. So I mean, we seen him play in conditions like New Zealand and Australia, but
It's
is
super
there
hard.
a way that maybe we play him like conditions based, like in India and Pakistan conditions? Because the guy's hitting some huge sixes. I think he had 16 um in the last game where he scored 162. I mean, scoring 162 in any T20 game is an
It's
insane
insane. Yeah,
feat.
insane. Yeah.
So like maybe like when they gave him a chance, they were batting him at four or five because Babar and Rizwan wanted to open, and they played him in Australia and New Zealand, which are bouncy, unfavorable conditions for batsmen for batting for Pakistani batting at least, as we've seen in this tour. So maybe that's an option for the 26 World Cup and the Asia Cup. The Asia Cup is happening where? Is that happening? Do you know the location?
I
I
think it's
think it
happening
slipped my
in
mind.
I think it's happening in India and Sri Lanka. From what I think, I know the 2026 World Cup happening there, but I think the Asia Cup's also happening in
Okay, we'll check on that on at the end of the episode. But if they're gonna, it's gonna be somewhere in Asia anyway. So, I think
training camp.
maybe he's a shout that maybe we might want to bring him in, keep him on the bench, and let him go open. And if he can do something crazy, then he could be a game changer. But like you said, Hassan Nawaz maybe in that lower order could be something, but I think we're lacking a couple things. This left arm spinner, and then honestly, the fast bowling has to be better. In Asia, I think Haris Rauf isn't as
Oh, no
lethal
shot,
in
bro.
those
Yeah.
conditions. So like, what are the options that we have? Like we've seen Muhammad Ali, he's not there.
Honestly, I
Naseem,
want Muhammad Ali to play in this match, bro. He needs to come in. I saw him in the practice match there. Then Mapaji took 5 wickets, bro. He was lethal. I saw that, and I was like, this guy's gonna go. He's gonna go crazy during the series.
the
But
problem
there's
with these guys is everyone in the practice match turns
just going
into
crazy.
Wasim Akram
Yeah.
or in batting they turn into Inzamam Haq, but
Yeah.
when they come to the actual pitch, it's different. Yeah, so I think hopefully in the PSL, right? Like we try to identify some newer T20 bowling talent because the guys like Shaheen, Naseem, if they're not performing, then we need to come up with some backup options. Like Hasnan is there, but I don't know. It's always a hit or miss with him. I like him, but he
Yeah.
just hasn't been as effective. What happened to our boy Shah Nawaz Dahani?
Right?
I used
Honest,
to
what did
love his celebration.
Hey,
I
how about
mean,
Hassan Ali? Give a shout out to Hassan Ali. Last match took 4 wickets and 4 balls in the final over.
yeah, and then I saw him hit some sixes as well, so I think
A generator, baby, exact.
he's urging for a comeback. Um, So yeah, I know there's another tall left arm fast bowler, Akif
Akif
Javed, who's
Javed, yes, I was gonna bring him
yeah,
up. Yes.
who's been picked for the ODI squad. I think he could be a good shout for T20s
T20,
too.
yeah.
So let's see, like with the PSL and like if there's any new bowlers that come through, like fast bowlers. I think right now we need to have some more depth. I'm not big on Muhammad Ali right now or Hasnan to be like one of those guys. Or we need a fast bowling all rounder, and the options there are limited as well with Amir Jamal, who's we're not gonna see, or Fahim Rana Ashraf.
So hopefully we don't see either. Yeah. Just I'll also say one more thing is for the 2025 Asia Cup. I know we keep talking about that 2026 World Cup too. It's like we do know that those Asian tracks are suitable for spin, right? So we obviously need to have batsmen who play the spin well. Now, I was trying to think on
Yes.
top of my head, how many players do we have that play the spin well? Fakr Zaman, he plays it
Trucker
well.
Zaman, yeah, plays spin well. So like with the actual lineup, I think we got a couple guys, and we have the advantage is like we have some lefties too. Saim Ayub can play spin
Yeah,
well.
yeah, Sime,
Fakr
soccer.
Zaman is there. Aga plays spin well as
He does, he
well.
does. Yeah, he has.
Um,
Uh,
so I don't know about the
Sweet.
newer guys how they're gonna play it. Like Hadis, I think he'll be better against the spin than the moving ball, which we've
Oh,
seen
yeah,
that I think for him, Mohammad Haris, he needs to work on the footwork a little bit. The front foot is lacking a little bit, not moving as much, and he's struggling with the bounce. So maybe working on some back foot shots. But you're right. We need guys that are able to play spin well. So I don't know if you're lobbying to have Babar Azam come back because he plays spin well, or
Oh, he he
because he
he plays.
actually tends to struggle against spin,
Oh,
leg spin.
he's horrific against spin. Like every time I've seen
Yeah.
that fool, like every time I see him get out, it's always spin.
Yeah, so I
I
think
mean,
the
yeah, that's
guy
very
that
true.
we might miss against spin is Rizvan. He's good against spin, but again, I don't
It's
know in T20s if we need
a sweet
someone like
time.
that.
Yeah.
Low-key, Osman Khan is good against
He's
spin.
good against
So,
spin. And and South Shakil Chota Don, bro, he's pretty good. He's very good against spin, actually. And in the T20 National Cup, man, I saw the scorecard from one of the games early in the week, and he was going off. I think he had a strike rate of over like 165 to 180. Um,
oh, Chota
Chota
Don,
Don's a
my
monster, bro.
goodness.
Yeah.
And then like we had our argument on the last pod, if everyone, as some of us, our fans tuned in about the anchor role, and we were talking about how the T20 World Cup is going to be in India or Sri Lanka and how the games are just evolving, right? And what happened? I think second or third IPL game in, a team puts up 287. And we're talking about anchors here, like guys who are going to bat through 20 overs. Guys, that thing has been thrown out the window, especially in Asian conditions. There's no such thing as an anchor. Maybe in like the up until 2021, 2022, but this is 2025. This is a new brand of cricket where guys are freaking playing lap shots against Bumrah in Test cricket on Boxing Day in
Yeah, that
MCG.
was
You know, Sam,
yeah.
shout out Sam Constas. But I mean, people are scoring 287. We're gonna see, like, I think in this season of IPL, people score 300, and that's because these batting wickets are extremely batting friendly. And in India, the grounds are smaller. Like they're built for six hitting. That's what sells. So that's what's
Exactly,
going to
yeah.
sell in the T20 World Cup as well. So I think we need to have that aggressive brand of cricket.
Sorry.
No, no, you're good. So yeah, I just think that Pakistan needs to be more. in that aggressive mindset. And like you said, it's a young team. We're gonna do good. We're gonna do some days you're gonna do good, and some days you're gonna lose like really bad, and that's what happened. We had a record loss in the last game. So the good, the bad, the ugly, and so let's just hope they close it out here in that game five and see if they can pull off a 3-2. That way we can say that they did better than the Shaheen led team in 2024 when they lost 4-1.
Zayd, how many runs do you think the boy Hassan Nawaz will score tonight?
I honestly think that he doesn't play tonight, and I think they might give Omer bin Yusuf a shot, or they don't play one of the guys like Irfan Khan Niazi
But yeah,
or one of those guys. I don't know how the pitch is gonna be because every time I read something on Cricinfo and Pakistan
it's the
comes to
complete
bat,
opposite, right? Yeah,
these guys are just freaking dancing around like they're doing the Macarena, the
yeah.
salsa.
They're doing a salsa
Um,
on
s-
the pitch, I reckon.
so I think I don't think they should bowl first today. I think they might should win the toss and try to bat.
Yeah, put some runs up on the board, I reckon. Right?
Put
Yeah.
some runs on the board, and let's hope Hassan Nawaz scores. But I don't think 100 or anything like that is coming again. Like I said, that innings was great, but he had a lot of risky shots and stuff that just it was just his day. And that's the thing with T20, you know. It doesn't work like that in ODIs where you can just swing the bat and someone has their day. But in T20s, it's a little luck based.
For sure.
Sometimes someone drops a catch or something and you start rolling. So it was his day. Usne koi satka vatka diya hoega, so he
Honestly.
was going.
Yeah.
Everything went in his favor. But like I said, we'll be watching, and then I think on 2 days from now, the ODI series is gonna start. So your boy Bobby and Rizvan will be back
What's
in.
pissing me off already, Zayd, is I'm on, social media and people are already saying New Zealand C team. Listen, man.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. You go open the squad. You probably won't be only recognized like
No,
guys like Latham and
I only knew
Bracewell.
maybe like a handful of people, but again,
Yeah,
you can't knock our players because they're just playing, the competition they're
yeah,
facing.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, they're not.
yeah.
We're not gonna knock that. It's
Oh,
New Zealand C team, but let's hope they perform in the ODIs as well, because that we were definitely lacking in that in the Champions Trophy. So
let's just say
we are
2023
very
August, baby. 2023 August
yeah.
is the last time we scored a century, and I'm telling you that it's coming next week.
Was it 2023 Asia Cup against Nepal, correct?
Dude, that was
That was his
brilliant.
last.
Brilliant. He scored 151. I mean, that
Yeah.
was one of the most epic innings I've
I'm
seen
not
in my
even gonna
life.
lie, I don't even think I watched that game against Nepal, but I'm not gonna glaze like that, but exciting times because after this, after the New Zealand ODIs, I think 10 days after that, the PSL is starting, and Karachi Kings just announced today that David Warner is their captain, so that's my
Damn,
team.
that's good news, dude.
Yeah, that's my
Wow.
team, Karachi Kings. So very excited to see the likes of David Warner. Kane Williamson is gonna join as well. Um, so extremely it's nice to see the talent coming to PSL.
Yes, sir.
I think New Zealand has 8 guys coming: Seifert, Finn Allen, Williamson, Adam Milne. So a bunch of these guys are going to be there. So shout out to those guys for coming to Pakistan and
Honestly,
promoting
we
cricket.
appreciate you guys. Yeah.
Um, and I think that's it for tonight. For tonight's episode, we're looking forward to the game. Shout out, my uncle's company, Earn Not Given. The company's Legacy Lending.
Epic guys,
Anyone,
honestly. Yeah.
anyone looking for a commercial loan? This is not sponsored, but please reach out to them. And Vase, big news. We hit 50 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, let's
So
go,
shout out to
man. The
everybody.
organic growth,
Um,
organic.
we're
Right?
yeah, we got the organic growth. I think we had a reel that you've been managing our Instagram account very well. We have
Clearly, without the post of king.
yeah. So we had 3,000 plays on one of our reels, so we're growing, and we appreciate everyone's support. As always, much love to everybody. Thank you guys. Peace. Thanks, Vase.
Yep.